Is there it? I would be jumping here to 1986 when you went to Burson Marsteller.
Right.
But is there anything? Can you talk about that at Owens Corning? This is where you worked closely with the CEO. Then you were recruited by Beatrice, and also from there recruited by
Merrill Lynch. Right.
Can you talk a little bit about your experiences at Merrill Lynch?
Well, Merrill Lynch was and is one of the most dynamic companies in the world. And in the financial services business, there's never literally a dull moment. So it's a high wire act that a financial services company like Merrill Lynch, and there's never any let up. The tension is constant. Crisis du jour, whether it's a bond crisis or a credit crisis or some broker's done the wrong thing or whatever, it's just a hugely tension-filled, anxiety-filled role. A lot of people, I loved it, it was great. But with some management changes there and some other things developing in my own life, I wanted to try the agency side, so that's where I went to Burson.
Correct. Let's talk just a minute about ethical leadership and get into Accenture and everything that happened there. So it's a very complicated chain of events for me as an outsider, just reading what I was able to read about what happened. It started in '89, which was the year of the establishment of Andersen Consulting within Arthur Andersen firm.
No, that's an erroneous statement.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with that because that's a core issue right there, what you just said. In 1989, an organization was formed called Andersen Worldwide.
Okay.
And under Andersen Worldwide was put Arthur Andersen Accounting and Andersen Consulting. They were two separate business entities entirely. Andersen Consulting, per se, was never part of Arthur Andersen. It was a sister company. Now, it came out of Arthur Andersen as it was known as the Administrative Services Division of Arthur Andersen. But when they formed Andersen Worldwide, two separate companies were formed, and the ownership of those two companies were divided between the partners between each. And that was a confusing point throughout the entire set of exercises. And the arbitrator, at the end of the day, clarified that very, very sharply, that there's ownership was split in '89, and there was never any connection after that time. So it's an interesting long story. I was fortunate to be there in the sense that it was a phenomenal public relations and marketing challenge. But it came out of the marketplace driving people's actions in a way that it was unfortunate because what happened was the consulting business was much more robust and profitable than the accounting business at the time. And the agreement had to do between the two companies with sharing earnings each year. And Andersen Consulting was paying Arthur Andersen $100 million a year because of its greater success. Well, Arthur Andersen, in violation, as the arbitrator found later on, of the contract between the companies, was reinvesting that money going back in the consulting business. And the basic agreement in '89 was consulting business was for Andersen Consulting and auditing and tax was for Arthur Andersen, and there was no to be violation of that. And there was years of arguments about that, of debate, and are you violating the contract or whatever. And finally, in desperation, the management of Andersen Consulting filed an arbitration against Arthur Andersen and Andersen Worldwide. That was the only vehicle they had. They couldn't. The bylaws wouldn't allow litigation, only arbitration. And the arbitrator, 2.5 years later, ruled totally in favor of Andersen Consulting, said that both Andersen Worldwide and Arthur Andersen had violated the contract, and he dissolved the contract. And so there's no longer any connection between the two. Now, interesting enough, in the contract was the licensing agreement for the use of the word Andersen. That was owned by the Illinois partnership of Arthur Andersen historically. And the contract, which was voided at Andersen Consulting's plea, essentially eliminated Andersen Consulting's ability to use the word. So we had 144 days to find a new name for Andersen Consulting. And working in 100 countries and trying to find a new name, working in global, is almost impossible. We had 5,000 candidate names, and 10 cleared all trademark clearances, et cetera, out of 5,000. Just 10. We could have used only 10. And we picked Accenture, It was an idea of one of our own consultants, and actually it's English is second language for the person. It's a Scandinavian who said, accent on the future, put them together. It was that simple. So that's where it comes from.
Could you maybe add to
10, trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could make 10. We picked Accenture, and it was an idea of one of our consultants, and so it was and English is and for the person, and it's Scandinavian, and accent, and put them together, and that's simple. Act from. Act 10. Act trademark, act occurrences, act 5,000, just 10. We could make 10. We picked Accenture. Was a idea of one of our consultants. English is for the person. It's Scandinavian, accent, put them together. That's simple. 10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could make 10. We picked Accenture. Yeah, one of our English for the person. And accent, put them together. That's simple. 10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could make 10. We picked Accenture. Was a idea of one of our consultants. English is for the person. It's Scandinavian, accent, put them together. That's simple. 10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could make 10. We picked Accenture. It was an idea of one of our consultants. English is for the person. It's Scandinavian, accent, put them together. That's simple. 10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could make 10.
None of that.
We picked Accenture.
None of that.
It was
None of that.
idea of one of our
None of that.
consultants.
None of that. None of that.
English is
None of that.
for the person.
None of that.
It's
None of that.
Scandinavian,
None of that.
accent,
So-
put them together.
so-
That's simple.
So
10.
So-
Trademark,
So-
occurrences,
Rand-
5,000,
Rand-
just 10.
Rand-
We could
Rand-
make 10.
Rand-
We picked
Rand-
Accenture.
Rand-
It was
Rand-
an idea of one of our
Rand-
consultants.
Rand-
English
the
is
70
for the person.
the 70
It's
the 70
Scandinavian,
the 70
accent,
the 70
put them together.
the 70
That's simple.
the 70 the 70 the 70 the 70 the 70
10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We
Can
could
you talk a little
make 10.
name
We picked
is simple.
Accenture.
5,000.
Yeah, one of was a English for the person. Scandinavian, accent, put them together. That's simple. That's simple. 10. Trademark, occurrences, just 10. Just 10. We picked Accenture. Yeah, one of our English for the person. And accent, that's simple. Put them together. 10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could
Can you talk a little
make 10.
Name
We picked
is simple.
Accenture.
5,000.
It was
The 70
idea of one of our
the 70
consultants.
the 70 the 70
English
the 70
for the person.
the 70
It's
the 70
Scandinavian,
the 70
accent,
the 70
put them together.
the 70
That's simple.
Rand 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 Rand
10.
Rand
Trademark,
Rand
occurrences,
Rand
5,000,
Rand
just 10.
Rand
We could
So-
make 10.
So
We picked
So
Accenture.
So
It was
So
idea of one of our consultants.
So
English
So
for the person.
So
It's
So
Scandinavian,
none of that.
accent,
None of that.
put them together.
None of that.
That's simple.
None of that. None of that. None of that. None of that. None of that.
10.
None of that. None of that.
Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could make 10. We picked Accenture. It was idea of one of our consultants. English for the person. It's Scandinavian, accent, put them together. That's simple. 10. Trademark, occurrences, 5,000, just 10. We could only 10. We picked Accenture. It was a idea of one of our consultants. English for the person. It's Scandinavian accent. We put them together. That's simple.
Maybe add
10 trademark occurrences out of 5,000. Just 10. We could only 10. We picked Accenture. It was a idea of one of our consultants. English for the person. It's Scandinavian accent. Put them together. That's simple.
maybe add
10 trademark occurrences out of 5,000. Just 10. We could only 10. We picked Accenture. It was a idea of one of our consultants. English for the person. It's Scandinavian accent. Put them together. That's simple.
maybe add
10 trademark occurrences out of 5,000. Just 10.